Hi and welcome back to my channel. So here is the redesign that I was doing. Just popping some dehydrator onto the new nail growth. I'm using CJP's dehydrator and I'm coming in with crystal glass just on that growth area and just blending it into the other acrylic. As you can see, she broke the very thin tip off on her middle finger while we were prepping the other hand, so I've popped a form on. This is one of CJP's new holographic salon length forms, so just pinching it there to make sure it's not too wide. Using my Tracy Lou size 10 brush as always. Absolutely love it. CJP's crystal clear acrylic, and we're just building her a new tip. Have had some problems with this video, still working my way around the editing process, so some bits have been cut out, so if I babble a bit, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Had a no-show, or 4 no-shows actually for waxing. So here is my bodge job. So I came in with CJP's Fantasy to do an extended nail bed. Had the product far too wet, so messing around with that. And once I'd got the nail bed on, I do this first to give it time to set while I do the other ones. And a little bit later on you'll see that I noticed that one side wing is a lot higher than the other, so I had to fill that in. So it didn't go well today, but it happens. Just goes to show 2 years in, nobody is perfect, and I certainly am not. So yeah, just getting that ready and letting that set. Now she's having Vamp on her other fingers and on this extended nail bed, and on the middle she is having Vamp, Fantasy and crystal glass, and she's also having some gold leaf pressed into that red acrylic. So just popping the form off there. It's very easy to do on nails this short, and I just use my file just to shape it a little bit before we put the product on. Using using Tracy Lou's 100/180 grit files. Absolutely love them. They're amazing. I did previously use her tips, her tapered square tips on this set as well. Big fan of Tracy Lou, as you'll find out. So just with the marble, little bead of Fantasy, little bead of Vamp, pick them up both together and just get that cuticle area nice and neat. And then wet beads, swoosh swoosh, that's it. Messy, quick, doesn't really matter. And then I just add colour in where I need it. Sometimes goes better than others. This wasn't one of the best marbles I've done. Do need to say about Donna's cuticles as well. She has very thick cuticles. I do use a cuticle bit when I'm prepping. I'm not confident nipping cuticles, so unless it's drastically hanging off, I just leave them alone. I prefer not to. So on the little finger, coming in with that first bead of Vamp, I tend to start with coloured acrylics at the cuticle and bring it down, and then add product from the other end and blend it up, mainly because it works for me. So I will just keep adding product until I've got the coverage that I want. Sometimes I can do this in one, sometimes I can't. Today was obviously not one of those days. Do love Vamp. Perfect red colour. Perfect. Love it every time. So heading on to the index finger, again another full finger of Vamp. So just getting it nice and neat in that cuticle area. Just tap 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 and then swipe and then bring the product down the middle. It's very good coverage with CJP colours. I will say I do cap my colours regardless of whether they need capping or not. I'm quite tight. I like to make my colours last me. So big mistakes. So first of all, I noticed that massive gap as I'm filing. I like to file my nail beds, it makes them nice and crisp. So I noticed that gap and then I have to go back in and fill it. The other mistake I made was to do the filing on this before I'd capped the other nails, because you get dust everywhere. So I didn't think that through very well either. Like I said, one of those days. But I'm leaving all this stuff in because you can learn at the same time as me. And I am still learning every day, every single day. So just while you watch me faff and fill this in and work with it too wet and get it on the skin and then get it back off the skin again, just crap, honestly. This is how not to do a nail bed, just saying. I will just say, I'm a home nail tech. I work in my kitchen diner. It's just me, 3 sets a day max. I do brow waxing and stuff as well, but it just, you know, I don't rush. I take my time. I prefer to have 3 in a day and take my time to do it. I know where I want to be. So just while we are waiting for the marble to set, I came in and capped the red nails. Now on that marble, we're going to add some gold leaf. I do like gold leaf, or any colour leaf. I've got gold, copper, silver, because it's nice and flat and it gives, you know, a different feel. I didn't want to do gold glitter because for me, red and gold with gold glitter screams Christmas, unless it's a burgundy. So far too early for that. So anyway, here's me. So literally you can cut these up into tiny little bits or pull little bits off. I tend to pull a bit off, pick it up with a very, very small bead of clear acrylic, and then I just use the monomer in my brush to break it up, and it disperses it really nicely. You just get some nice little bits and pieces, and then I'll just push it around until I'm happy where it is, pretty much. So while that's on there, I faff around with that a bit. I apologise for angles where I've gone out of shot. I've still obviously got a lot to learn about this whole editing thing. I'll get it, you know. I'm old. It takes me time to learn new things, but I will get it. So as you can see, completely out of shot. Sorry. So while we're out of shot, because I couldn't figure out how to crop the middle bit out, I've come into nails very, very late. It was something I never envisioned to do, but you know what, it's took off for me. I'm doing okay, learning as we go. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's allowed me to work the way I need to work. So pretty good. And we have good natter, me and my clients. We always have a really good natter, and I think that's important. So if you're new to the channel, thank you very much for subscribing. Really, really appreciate it. And you know, give me a like on the videos, give me a thumbs down if you don't like it, give me some hints and tips. You know, what can you help me with? Look at this, shots of rubbish, sorry, but I left it in now because I can't figure out how to cut out the middle bit. That's just, I haven't got that far yet. And this is about my 4th voiceover on this, because I keep getting my words all muddled up, just like then, just like that. Will you ever hear me swearing? Probably. You know, I'm not going to pretend to be professional here. I'm not. I'm rambling. So anyway, there's me coming in and refiling that that extended nail bed. Now this nail ended up quite bulky because of the extra product and stuff. When I'm doing design sets, unless I really need to, I tend to finish file by hand rather than with an e-file, but on this occasion I did e-file, so there is a little bit of that in there, but I didn't leave all of my filing in just because I've already done a video on that. So you know, I figured you'd probably want to see more design of what you can see of it, at least. So hopefully that's where we'll be going next. So yeah, just getting my gold leaf ready to put on that little red tip. Wasn't the best set. I've done the nail bed could be tidier. You know, I did bodge this one, but it happens. And I take away the best piece of advice I can give anyone if you're coming into this is, if you're starting off, get your basics. Do the basics, get really good base nails first, because I did it the wrong way round. I came in really impatient to try all the fancy stuff, you know, watching Liz Gill, Tracy Lou, Kirsty Meakin, wanting to do all that stuff, and I'm now having to revisit all the basics still. So don't do it that way around. Learn your basics first, and then deal with the design. And you know, if something goes wrong, learn from it. The worst thing you can do is to not learn anything from that. So I know for next time to make sure that that bead that I put that nail bed on isn't too wet. So this is just me coming in. Like I said, I decided to do the finish filing by e-file just because it's quicker. So I use a fine e-file bit for that. I am e-file trained and insured. Obviously, I don't suggest using an e-file if you're not trained to use one. So here's me just whisking round, and a lot of time if I do this bit by e-file, it's just to get those cuticles nice and flush. If I'm really busy, I might use it more, but I was doing, you know, 4 to 6 sets a day, and it was too much for me, so I now only do 3 anyway. So most of the time I finish file by hand, and always come in afterwards with a hand file anyway. Once they've all been filed to shape, we then come in and buff the nails, and I then use a cotton pad with some acetone on, and I wipe the nails over. A little tip I learned from watching Kirsty Meakin, it just helps melt that top layer slightly, makes it look a lot smoother. And I had a fair bit of bulk to get off of this one because obviously I built it up too high with the extra acrylic, but that's what I'm here for. Hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes as I'm going. And I'll make plenty. I can promise you, I am the clumsiest nail tech in the world. I'm always knocking stuff over. So we've skipped straight for the top coat. Just want to say thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please feel free to leave me comments. I will answer all of them. CJP tack-free top gloss is stunning. And I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, and there is a photo at the end for you. Thank you very much for visiting my channel, and I hope to have more content up soon. Thank you very much.